Hello, myself KRUPALI LODHARI, and today our topic is pyramidal tract. First of all, what is a tract? When the collection of the nerve fiber which connects to the masses of the grey matter within the central nervous system is called a tract. Tract are the two types: ascending tract and descending tract. So here in descending tract there are also two types: pyramidal tract and extrapyramidal tract. Here we are talking about the pyramidal, also called as corticospinal tract. In this, it contains two types. First of all, lateral corticospinal pyramidal tract and the anterior corticospinal pyramidal. So here, first of all, lateral corticospinal tract, which lies on the lateral funiculus, and the anterior corticospinal tract, which lies on the anterior funiculus. So knowing about the pyramidal tract, first of all we know about the diagram. So here is the diagram of the pyramidal tract. So here is the diagram of the pyramidal tract. First of all, in pyramidal tract, it starts from motor cortex to the spinal cord. In between there is midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and after spinal cord. In motor cortex there are areas 4, 6, 3, 1 and 2, and after the pyramidal or corticospinal tract is formed by the axon of the pyramidal cell, predominantly lying on the motor area of the cerebral cortex. From here, fiber crosses through the posterior limb of the intercapsule from the midbrain to the midbrain from the pons to the medulla oblongata. At the lower end of the medulla oblongata, 80% of the fiber crossing to opposite side of this is known as pyramidal dissection. The fibers that have crossed interlateral column of the white matter of the spinal cord and descending lateral corticospinal tract. Here the 15% of fiber that do not cross from anterior white column of the spinal cord to form a spinal cortico tract. The fibers of the tract also crosses the appropriate level of the rich grey matter opposite the half spinal cord and the synapse in internuclei neurons similar to those lateral corticospinal tract. Only 5% of the corticospinal fibers supply muscle at the same side of the chiefly neck muscles, and thus the neck muscle have the bilateral control. Thus the cerebral cortex through the lateral anterior corticospinal tract control anterior horn cells and opposite of the spinal cord. So function of the lateral corticospinal tract is the main motor tract for skillful voluntary movement, and the anterior corticospinal tract functions are the facilitate the flexors. The functions are: the cerebral cortex control the gross and fine scale voluntary movement opposite of the half of the body through the anterior horn cell, and the influencer of this tract is facilitatory for the flexion and inhibitory for the extensions. Anterior corticospinal tract controls the gross voluntary movement like walking and running, and lateral corticospinal tract facilitate the flexors and increase the muscle tone. Of the basal ganglia and the cerebellum is mediated by the corticospinal tract. So this is video on the pyramidal tract or the corticospinal tract.